January 16, 2018. Hope everybody had a happy holidays and hope you're staying warm, got plenty of wood or propane or whatever heats your house. So I'd like to welcome you, and we've had a long day already, the council. We've been committee meeting since this morning, and we'll try to wrap up today and get you out of here. At this time, I'd like to go to our co-speaker here to give the invocation.
Our Heavenly Father, we thank you for this day and every day. We thank you for the people that we serve, and we ask that you give us divine guidance in our hearts and in our minds to serve as best we can. And we thank you for all those people here and ask for travel mercies for everyone. In Jesus' name, amen.
Thank you, Victoria. Roll call, Shelley.
Yes, sir. Buell England.
Aye.
Keith Austin.
Here.
Harley Buzzard.
Here.
Joe Bird.
On him.
Sean Crittenden.
Aye.
Mike Dobbins. Frankie Hargis. Wanda Hatfield. Rex Jordan. Dick Lay.
Aye.
Mike Shambaugh.
Here.
Mary Bakershaw. E.O. Smith.
Here.
Janice Taylor. Victoria Vasquez. David Walkingstick. Brian Warner. We do have a quorum.
This time we entertain approval of the minutes. A motion and a second. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Okay, this time we will go to the State of Nation for our Principal Chief. You look good in the parade. You had earmuffs on.
I did. Oshi, and welcome to the January council meeting, the first one of this new year. I hope each and every one of you had a wonderful Christmas with your family and friends and in your home communities, and I truly hope you all have a blessed new year. We hope that this year at the Cherokee Nation that we are as blessed as we were last year, making progress of making the lives of our citizens better. We're coming off the holidays, so tonight's going to be a pretty short meeting as best I can tell, and but our staff has returned from another productive meeting at the Five Tribes Intertribal Council, where Deputy Chief led our delegation, and I proudly assume the role of President of the Intertribal Council for this next year. In late December, I signed an executive order recognizing Martin Luther King Jr.'s birthday, and we participated not only in the Tulsa parade, but a huge celebration over in Muskogee as well. We launched a new pilot project with our language program, so that not only do our immersion kids get the immersion school, but now we'll have after-school programs and summer programs so that they can continue to work on and expand their Cherokee language all the way through high school, and it'll give the opportunity for some of the kids that didn't go through immersion to be able to participate and try to build their language skills as well. We need to thank CNB for entering the MOU to make it possible. We thought we had a federal grant to do it. We were not successful in the grant, but very few things are more important than our language and keeping it alive and well and keeping speakers coming through for future generations. So we appreciate them. Give them a big round of applause, please. We added 6 new vans to our transportation services through a grant so that to help transport our citizens for work and for medical appointments. And there would be a picture in the Phoenix of some really neat new vans that are going into service. Finally, we lobbied the Department of Homeland Security to suspend their plans of releasing biomedical attack, a simulation of biomedical attack on Chilocco, and were notified in late December that the department had abandoned the plan to conduct those non-hazardous biochemical tests on the lands that were the former school of Chilocco in northern Oklahoma. So working together, we were able to get them to back off and I guess find someplace else or do something different. We get to the point of recognizing citizens that were with us last month that are not with us this month. So if you'll bear with me while I go through this rather long list. Jessica Baker of Bonita, James Bunch of Stillwell, Franklin Bird of Salisaw, Karen Christie of Stillwell, Dora Clinton of Salisaw, Alicia Craig of Stillwell, Dennett Davis of Dewey, Carla Dick of Tahlequah, Eddie Dustman of Salisaw, Rebecca Irvin of Grove, Billy Falk of Salisaw, Bobby Joe Fisher of Grove, Eugene Fox of Bartlesville, a World War II veteran and one of our Warrior Flight participants in the past, Sanfresca Harper of Stillwell, Russell Hart of Stillwell, Byron Hartshorn of Westville, Jamie Hopkins of Pryor, Wanda Marie Gasaway Gulager Howard of Tahlequah, G.V. Gulager's mother, Randy Hunt of Skytook, Joyce James of Pryor, Aletha Jarvis of Nowata, Leon Killen of Claremore, World War II veteran, Seth Kilsnight of Tahlequah, Lewis Matthews Jr. of Nowata, Blakely McClure of Hulbert, Charla Morris of Owasso, Sean Neckethead of Stillwell, Wanda Neckethead of Stillwell, Bessie Oldfield of Pryor, Julius Ryder of Stillwell, Rena Rucker of Park Hill, Brittany Sonny of Stillwell, Dana Schaefer of Pryor, Stephen Starr of Tulsa, Michael Stokes of Sapulpa, Noreen Teehee of Salisaw, Presley Tucker of Tahlequah, Anna Toole of Tulsa, Eldine Turner of Pryor, James Walker of Tulsa, Gary Wallace of Tahlequah, Linda Wilder of Tahlequah, and George Wycliffe, former Katua Principal Chief and former Tribal Council member of this council, and Susie Bird Moore, former First Lady of the Cherokee Nation. Are there others?
Paul Stanley Bickford of Claremore.
Absolutely. Mike?
Jay Carmen, WW2 Warrior, Fort Gibson.
Chandler Wolf from Jay.
I have Dennis Caldwell, Margaret Scraper, Georgie Kendi, Mona Miller, Stephen Brown, Kasha Van, Juanita Flynn, and Jimmy Harrington, all of Stillwell.
David Shackle of Beggs, original Renegade, Joanna Scott Masterson Hester.
Dick?
John Rose of Nowata. Estel Viles of Bartlesville. Jerry Butch McDonald, a Cherokee Nation Patriotism Medal of 2016.
Eileen LaBouffe of Locust Grove, and Charlotte Wadey Clevenger of Salisaw.
If we could have a moment of silence, please, for all of these. Well, no, appreciate each and every one of your time tonight.
This time, Deputy Chief, make your way up. While you're making your way up, I'd like to thank all the people, the prayers, the cars, the flowers for Susie. I mean, appreciate, Chief, everything you guys did. Can't be thankful enough. So this time, Deputy's going to do the veterans. How many do we have tonight?
Mr. Speaker, we had 3, but as the evening wore on, I found out we only have 1 this evening. One other had to work and something happened with the other one. Mm-hmm. But we're honored and blessed tonight to have John Andrew Cockrum. Would you come forward, sir? Bill Anglin, would you come up and help with this? I'm going to read about Mr. Cockrum. At an early age of 17 years and 2 months, John Cockrum enlisted in the U.S. Navy. It says here in my notes it was against his mother's will. Now you got to realize when somebody younger than 18 joins, they got to have their parents' permission. So said it was against his mother's will, but his father gave him consent and signed his enlistment papers. After completing boot camp and training, he studied the entirety of a submarine and became qualified to work on submarines. He was assigned to the USS Piranha. Is that the way you pronounce that, sir? Piranha, okay. Based out of San Diego, California, he served as a quartermaster, helmsman, and during battle station, he was an assistant to the officer on deck. In the year of 44 and 45, the submarine Piranha sunk and severely damaged several Japanese transports, attempting to resupply their dug-in troops, which were defending numerous islands against the Marines from island hopping campaign across the Pacific toward Japan. He served as a helmsman driving the submarine through 3 combat patrols and saw the Second World War to its end after the Americans dropped the atomic bomb on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, forcing the Japanese into unconditional surrender. Mr. Cockrum was honorably discharged as a quartermaster, 3rd class, on February the 19th, 1946, earning 2 medals. Those were the medals of the Asiatic Pacific with 2 stars and the American Area Victory Medal. And Mr. Cockrum, on behalf of a grateful nation, sir, I want to thank you for your service to this country.
Let's turn this around and take one. That's right.
Okay, right here on 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more. 1, 2, 3.
Would you like to say anything, sir?
I'd like to show my appreciation and thanks to the Tribal Council for this great honor. Appreciate the nation.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Is that it, Deputy?
That's it, sir.
Okay. At this time, we'll move down to unfinished business, none pending, committee reports. Tonight, we have a special guest with us tonight that's going to give us a update on the Veterans Center, Barbara Foreman. Now, when we let Rob Daugherty speak, we let him know that we can cut you off at any time because we gave him 3 to 5 minutes and he's still on 12 minutes talking about himself.
You have to give that to him, though, not me. Okay. It's a pleasure to be in front of you tonight, Council. The Office of Veteran Affairs has been very busy with activities. Hopefully, you've seen the emails and the invites. And I hope that your schedules allow for you to be able to come and visit with us and visit with the veterans in the events. We've been having, we've started bingos for them once a month. We are having lunches for our employees that are veterans, and they have been very well received. We've heard some good things from the veterans and their spouses regarding just those activities. We have other activities planned throughout the year. Then the next activity, matter of fact, is a sweetheart dance that we're going to plan for our veterans. That's going to be February the 13th. From 5 to 7, and of course we'll be sending some stuff out on that. I kind of wanted to do just a highlight of some of the applications, just so also the public can know of the information about our applications. Okay, so I'm going to kind of do that if you just bear with me, because most of the council, know about the Medal of Patriotism and everything that goes with that. But first we have the Cherokee Warrior Medal of Patriotism Award applications. And it's a simple one-page application. You just have to let us take a copy of the DD 214 form, a copy of the citizenship card, and also just a brief bio from the veteran regarding their military service. And as you've seen tonight, we honored our World War II veteran, and it's a great honor for us at the Veterans Center to be able to do this for our people. Also, we have the Cherokee Warrior Flight application that comes next. If you have received the Medal of Patriotism, you're eligible to go on the Warrior Flight. Of course, we choose, our priority is World War II, and then Korea, and on down to Vietnam and on. So we take from 8 to 10 veterans with us, just depending how many we have that are World War II or Korea. And if you're familiar with that, that is a 3-day trip, and it is an awesome trip. And I would invite any of the council to attend with us coming September. Also, we have a brick application. And when you receive the Medal of Patriotism, you receive a free brick on our memorial there at the Veterans Center. And they're also available for purchase of $25 if you have relatives that you'd like to purchase one for that's a Cherokee veteran. Just contact us there at the Veterans Office. We'd be glad to help any of you with these applications. And as far as the council administration, we just need a first name, last name, and a phone number. And if you have referrals to give to us, we'll take that information. We'll contact them. We do a lot of different things there at the Veterans Center. We do some transports to the veterans, mostly to Muskogee. We have went a little farther than Muskogee to Tulsa. We also have a readjustment counselor there at the center. His name is Matthew Tiger. And he's on just a memorandum with us from the Veterans Center in Tulsa. And also we have the ODVA that comes in. We have the DAV that comes in on Tuesdays right now to do certifications for our people that come in. We need referrals. I just want to tell you that. When these programs started way back, the referrals were strictly made by the council for the Medal of Patriotism. we still want the council to recommend people to us, but it's kind of open now. We've kind of opened it up a little bit for other people, to come in, because we have the veterans that come into the office, and we're trying to, assist them also. Let's see. We have a lot of other goals for the Veterans Center. The chief says he wants it, to be national known Veterans Center, and that's a huge goal, nationally known. But I think that we can have those opportunities in the future. There's some grants that are coming through now. One that I'll need to talk to the administration about, that if we would recognize the Veterans Day on Veterans Day instead of the day before, that we may be able to qualify for some other things from the military to come out and be at our center. So with that, I want to give you our phone number, and I'm giving that out here to the public. For the Veterans Center, it's 918-772-4166. Call us with those referrals. Do you have any questions?
Any questions for Barbara? Yes, Councilor Buzzard.
Yes, thank you, Barbara, for coming. Barbara doesn't report to any of our committees, and I really haven't had a chance to discuss with her some of the initiatives. Being a veteran, I feel like, I could speak for a veteran because I am a veteran. But I would just notice, Barbara, that on our report, I'd been over there several times at the center, and I read a report where they were installing a dishwasher or a refrigerator, and I didn't know we didn't have a kitchen in there. I like the center. I think it's probably one of the best centers in any tribal nations, but I think we need to have a kitchen in there. So that may be something you might want to put on your agenda to get for us over there, because veterans like to eat like the rest of us Cherokees. The other thing is, and I know we talked about this in some of our committees when veterans reports were there, as an intake person. And I belong to the Veterans Center there, or the American Legion in Jay, and probably the number one thing that happens at those centers is an intake person for benefits. Benefits is the number one thing that veterans goes and ask for, especially the Vietnam veterans. They go in and ask for benefits, so I think that's really, really important if we could ever land an intake person that does a specialty in benefits, because that's what's on the agendas every time one comes in at our American Legion or the VFW, it's benefits. So those are some things that I would like to see happen. The other thing that I've noticed, and I hate to say this, and I say it a lot, that everything happens in Tahlequah, but I noticed the elder summits, when we had those this last year, we moved them around. I think we had one in Veneta or Pryor, and those are really, really good, because it brought a lot of people out to those summits that can't make it to Tahlequah. So if you would look into your agendas for this coming year, is to maybe move those around and have one, you have one in Tahlequah, but have one in the northern part, maybe Jay, Nowata, Washington County, and those sections up there, and see what happens. I don't know if you get a lot of veterans out or not, but I think if you invited the veterans and their families out, we might. So I think it'd be worth a shot to see if we could do something like that. But these are just suggestions that I see. Veterans, sometimes I say they tend to get overlooked. I'm not one to go out and beat the flag, but I feel like, being one of the veterans on the council, that I need to say something. And these are just suggestions. So hopefully the administration, the chief, and the deputy chief are here and take that under advisement. And I'm sure the veterans would appreciate anything that we can do for those out there in Cherokee country. But thank you. Thank you, sir.
Councilor Crittenden.
Barbara, how many do you have on your staff?
There's 3, including myself, 3.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else? Yeah, you were working on expanding that kitchen, we might call it, and you were getting a a dishwasher and a stove and all of that.
The dishwasher's installed.
Okay.
The stove was being installed today, matter of fact.
You know, one thing about having a veterans building like that, if you remember, there was not even a budget for that in the beginning. I know when I came on 2011, we were, every month, somebody'd give a report, and they were volunteers trying to build it. So we had to step up as a council recommendation of the chief, deputy chief, that let's put a budget to it. I know Councilor Garvin was always, questioning that every month. So we did put a budget behind it. And another thing is, I know you've looked for someone to copy that has a model veterans building. Well, there's not one out there. But we as Cherokees, we can take the lead, and you build one, you create one, and make a plan, and the council will support it. Because you can go visit all those 5 tribes, and they don't have a model veterans building that we're talking about. So you're just going to have to take the lead and put it down in writing and make your own plans.
It's our building, Joe.
Good. All right. Anybody else? All right. Good report, Barbara. If you need us, call us.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have with us Cherokee Nation Business CEO, Mr. Sean Crittenden. Sean Crittenden? Yeah, I know. Sean Slayton?
You're welcome. Good evening.
Good to have you here, Sean.
We ended the first quarter of our fiscal year in great shape, as all of our companies. We'll be very happy to report out our December earnings when it's time to do that. But November was good as well, and we also contributed another $332,000 to the nation in tax collections. Our expansion projects are in design now. That would be Tahlequah and the replacement of the sprung at Hard Rock, and we'll be excited to kind of unveil those in the near future. A couple of items of interest. We had one CNB employee who is a Cherokee citizen that was asked to join the Tulsa's Resilient Advisors on Racial Equality. And we're very proud of her. Her name's Deborah Fritz, and that is a foundation that's a part of the Rockefeller Foundation for 100 Resilient Cities program in 2015. As part of the program, the advisory committee works to develop strategies addressing the fiscal, social, and economic challenges that are there in Tulsa. So we're very proud of her and volunteering her time and serving on that and representing us. Cherokee Nation Red Wing earned a quality accreditation for, it's called the NADCAP accreditation and supplier merit status, which demonstrates an ongoing commitment to the aerospace quality. We've won several of those over at CNI. They're a preferred vendor with everything. We appreciate the hard work that they do to maintain those certificates and merit awards. Our Cherokee Nation Technology Solutions earned award with the U.S. Army. It's a $249 million opportunity to be one of 6 firms that gets to bid on that work over the next 10 years. And they'll be working, some of the participating agencies is the U.S. Army Institute of Surgical Research, U.S. Army Medical Research Institute of Chemical Defense, U.S. Army Public Health Center, and the Extremity Trauma and Amputation Center of Excellence. All of that work is very important to veterans and U.S. Army, and we're very proud to be part of that opportunity. It doesn't guarantee us the work. We have to get our pencil sharp, but at least we're in the hunt for that. And I'm very proud of them for that. Chief mentioned the immersion program that we helped fund, and every day our The employees come to work hoping to do better for the Cherokee Nation, and that's one of the things that they point to with pride, as our clinics and the other services that are provided from their efforts. Currently, we have 6,700 CMB employees, 4,531 that aren't contract. Our percentage is 73.6, and other natives at 6.7, for a combined Native American employment of 80.3 on the ones that we can practice preference with. I'll be happy to answer any questions.
Any questions for Mr. Slayton?
I may not be happy, but I'll answer them.
Okay. Anybody?
Thank you.
Good report.
Thank you.
Moving down to old business, none pending. New business, out of Rules Committee. Counselor Jordan, you want to take the first one?
Yes. This is a resolution confirming the reappointment of Edward H. Fight III as a Commissioner of the Cherokee Nation Environmental Protection Commission. And I put that in form of a motion.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. Next, Counselor Hargis, you want to take that?
It's a resolution confirming the reappointment of Lena Carson as a Commissioner of the Cherokee Nation Environmental Protection Commission. I move for its approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, the ayes have it. Out of Executive Finance Committee, Counselor Taylor, you want to take that?
This is an act amending Legislative Act 26-17, authorizing the comprehensive operating budget for fiscal year 2018, Mod 4, and I move for its approval.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, the ayes have it. To my right, any announcements? To my left, any announcements? I want to make an announcement. Always proud to have our board member, CNB, Jerry Holderby, former CEO, and Heritage staff. Charlie, you and your genealogy department, appreciate you being here. And going to introduce a friend of mine who just moved back after 27 years, my sister, Jeannie Pittman here, and really good to have her back. She's been in town a week. I've eaten at her house 3 times. So appreciate that. So glad to have her here. Any announcements, Deputy?
Sir?
Any announcements?
It's going to warm up in a day or two.
Good. We need that. Okay. At this time, I'd entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
Motion and second. We're adjourned.